Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Upkick MMA, episode 323. I am Brendan. UFC 293, Adesanya versus Strickland. This is going to be the prelims, okay? We're going to take care of Carlos Ulberg versus Jung. And the rest of the prelims here, we're going to cover each fight round by round, talk about the scoring, talk about the fight breakdown. We're going to break down each one of the fights. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe to the channel. That way you know the next video is coming out. I'd super appreciate that. Also, if you're looking for the main card and the main event, that's in the last video. All right, I already put one of those up. I do 2 or 3 videos every single week breaking down fights. So let's get into it. Woo! All right. Not a slog. Not a slog. This card, so it didn't feel like I was like energized for the undercard here for the prelims, right? It seemed like the main card really, it started off with a bang and then it continued through, and maybe it's because of the way the main event ended, it carried over into the rest of the fights, making me think it was really exciting. But I felt like the main card was a blast. This one, all of the fights were all really good. It's just by the time I got to the main card, I was like, I just felt like there wasn't, I don't know if there wasn't for me just like that super memorable moment. It's not like there wasn't. Like, there was plenty of finishes. Let's get into the fights, all right? Let's talk about Carlos Ulberg defeating Jung via unanimous decision. First round here, Ulberg with the light shot to the nuts. They wave it off and continue. Lots of leg kicks landing for Ulberg, but then Jung lands a lot of his own. He's keeping the center of the cage, pressuring Ulberg to the edge, but not throwing much, right? A nice jab and then a 3-punch combo from Ulberg drops Jung. And then Ulberg, he took that round, but just barely. From that, if he didn't drop Jung, I think Jung takes that round. All right, so 19-17 for striking numbers. Second round, more of the same. Jung landing hard low kicks, just like he did in the first round. Hard left hook landing from Ulberg. Ulberg landing 4 hard jabs in a row. More hard jabs from Ulberg, messing the right eye of Jung up. And it's just barely. He beats him out on the scorecard, or the striking numbers here again, 24-23. If you look at the striking numbers to the head, that's where the big difference was, 21-4 for Ulberg. And the leg kicks were all Jung. And that's the thing, is like he was messing up that leg, but there wasn't a lot of noticeable movement, like impaired movement from Ulberg. And then the third round here, so I had a 20-18 for Ulberg. In the third round here, more jabs backing up from Ulberg. Jung got him down momentarily, and then Ulberg started to breathe heavy, and then he started running away. Then he re-engages in the clinch and goes for a takedown of his own, gets on top and gets the back, and then goes for a rear naked choke. And then the round ends before the finish gets, but it looks like he tapped for a second. It was hard to tell. Like, when I watched it live, I thought maybe there was a tap, but the only thing it would have mattered is he would have got the finish instead of the decision win. They called it. They called a submission. My bad. They reversed it. I walked away. No way. Yep, all right, good on them. That usually doesn't happen. That's fantastic. I'm glad they went through and reviewed it and gave that to him. That's fantastic. Alrighty, let's talk about a fight that ended kind of weird. Jack Jenkins versus Chepe Mariscal. Oh boy, Chepe, he had his moments in the first round, but Jenkins was just landing the harder shots, right? He landed the hard left body kick, the hard low kicks. Mariscal was claimed a groin strike. It looked like there was one. Jenkins with the hard low kicks, tying up in the clinch. Mariscal landing some good short hooks to the body. Jenkins landed the low kick and a nice left hand at one point. Jenkins was landing these hard low kicks over and over again, fading back, and he landed a hard left hand while on his back foot. That was fantastic. Jenkins just landed more and did more damage, 31-23 for striking numbers. I had him up 10-9. Second round, Mariscal was throwing hooks and walking him down and then goes into the clinch, and that was clearly how he wanted to change it up. I don't know if he was going for the takedown necessarily, but he definitely, you could call it a takedown attempt, but he was always in on the clinch, looking like he was going for the takedown and then making Jenkins work there. Then he goes for a whizzer kick and goes to throw him down, and Jenkins reaches out to brace himself, and in doing so dislocates his elbow. It was real bad. I hate watching that stuff. Disappointing end to what was shaping up to be an interesting fight, because if the rest of that second round goes that way, right? Mariscal's open, or he's hoping to go in the third round tied up. So now let's see who makes the better adjustment in the third round. Whereas this one, it's like Mariscal did the thing, and that's what caused the damage. So it's absolutely, but you don't throw somebody looking for them to dislocate their arm. You know what I mean? Like, had he dunked him on his head and knocked him out, that's one thing. If he throws him on his back and then gets on top of him and grounds and pounds him, that's one thing. Gets on top of him, submits him. That's all a part of the game plan. But you don't throw someone expecting them to dislocate a joint and essentially have the fight ended via injury. It's not ideal, but he did do the technique that caused the damage. It's like when someone breaks their leg, right? When they check a kick and the other person breaks it, like, you did throw that technique, or you put that counter up there to that technique, expecting them to hurt themselves, but you don't expect them to break something. So that's one of the things. It was just a little odd. Great win for him. I thought he made an excellent adjustment in the second round. I just would have loved to see a third round. That's all. All right, John Makdessi taking on Jamie Mullarkey. A little bit of weird one here for me. We'll talk about it. First round, Makdessi with the low kicks. Mullarkey was able to land the jab and the left hook to the body. Mullarkey was using his range really well. Makdessi just wasn't able to find consistent striking moment. Like, he wasn't able to do anything. He wasn't able to put any sustained damage out there. And Mullarkey was just poking him apart, and he was landing the harder shots. Even though Makdessi landed more, 24-22, I felt like Mullarkey landed the harder shots, did more damage in this round. So I had him up, which is weird, because the second, this is strange. Based off that, you see, the eye test did not tell me that Makdessi landed more strikes in that first round. It must be those body shots. Oh, it must have been the teep kicks, the front kicks of the body. Second round, just one or two shots at a time from Mullarkey, but they are from so far out that Makdessi couldn't find anything in return. Makdessi with the low kick. The kicks from Makdessi are the only thing that's landing to the legs, and he's too far out to land them up top. So big right hand from Makdessi puts Mullarkey down. He's not able to follow up with much damage. So this was close here, right? Like, I don't know if that knockdown put him over, because he was behind in the strikes, 37-21. But you could make the argument that the stuff that Mullarkey was doing, a lot of those low kicks, right? Take away seven of those strikes, or So this 7 of the differential is from low kicks, so that's 30-21. And some of the stuff to the body wasn't fight ending. Some of the stuff to the head was really good. It's just one of those things where Makdessi did land the most significant shot arguably of the fight, with the only knockdown. But did they even count it as a knockdown? Oh, that's one of the problems. They didn't count it as a knockdown. He did knock him down, whether he was off balance or not. That's a knockdown. And how you scored that is going to influence your opinion. I was leaning towards Mullarkey, but something about it, the way that Makdessi ended that round, I felt like he did enough earlier on. It wasn't 37-10. It wasn't like that was the only strike he landed. He did land other strikes in that round, and he was behind. But that big shot, I've seen bigger differentials erased by a big shot. So I hit it 19-19 going in the third, and then Mullarkey was in his face, starting to pick up the volume, but Makdessi landed a hard right hand and a spinning back fist. Mullarkey was like, he landed a jumping knee. This last round was just a firefight. Stiff jab from Makdessi landing a few times. Mullarkey not landing hard jabs like he was earlier, and now Makdessi really started to step it up. A great 1-2 from Makdessi, another one, great right hand, and the way he ended this fight, I thought it was for sure his. 38-29 for the striking numbers. For sure he gets his last round. I had him up 29-28. I understand that second round. Like I said, it's pretty close. What's interesting here, though, wow. Wow. All right. We've got some controversy to talk about here. Mark Christie. So Eric Cologne, right? He scored the first 2 rounds from Mullarkey. Understandable. Totally get it, right? I was on the fence even in that second round for giving it to Makdessi with that one big shot. So totally understand. And then he gives that last round to Makdessi. Absolutely, totally. That's the right. That is a good card. It's not the right card. That second round could have gone either way, depending on how you rated that knockdown. And the first round is obviously Mullarkey. But Christie and Leatherby, Mark Christie and David Leatherby, both gave the second round to Makdessi. I thought they wouldn't have given him the second round. They gave Mullarkey the last round. How do you give Mullarkey the last round? Those are dog shit scorecards. Those are criminal scorecards. And yeah, people aren't going to be upset about this because it was on the prelims. It was the second fight on the prelims. No one's going to fucking care. And the hometown guy won here. Dude, you don't need to see the striking numbers. That last round was Makdessi's. The whole round could have been, you could call it close until the last 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and then Makdessi just started to pull away. He was the only one landing. Horrible. Those are horrible scorecards. Those are horrible. They robbed that's a robbery. Based off of it isn't a robbery in that I didn't think the fight was close. It's a robbery in how they scored it. The differential there, right? Because both of them gave the second round to Makdessi, but they didn't give the third round to Makdessi. That should have been his fight then. Holy shit, that's bad. That's bad, guys. Wow. That's awful. Absolutely horrendous scorecards. I feel for Makdessi, man. Man, nothing but decisions for him since 2016. And even then, that was a loss. He hasn't had a win he hasn't had a finish since 2015. Shane Campbell. Wow, I can't believe I've been watching him fight for that long. Holy moly. It's crazy. I remember when he came into the UFC, and I still think of him as like a newer fighter. Meanwhile, he's been fighting in the UFC for 13 years. Whew. Wow. All right, Nasrat Haqparast taking on Landon Quinones. Quinones stepping up on short notice. Obviously, he's from The Ultimate Fighter. This latest season, I think it was season 31. I did cover it. If you are interested in The Ultimate Fighter, Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler season, I covered that whole thing, so I broke them down episode by episode. So if you happen to go back and you watch some, I have some companion pieces out there for you. So if you're interested in watching someone else, basically watching with someone else who watched the episode, that'd be me. All right, low kicks from Quinones. To start, Nasrat was landing a double and a triple jab. Nasrat was landing a decent left straight. Both guys land hard left hooks to the body, but the low kicks from Quinones were starting to land at will, right? He started to land them, and they started to take effect. Haqparast landing a hard shots up top, and that's what won him this first round, but not by a lot. If you look at the striking numbers here, 44-43, and you look where they were, 26 up top for Haqparast and then 14 up top for Quinones. The big difference maker were those 17 leg kicks for Quinones, right? That was the differential that I thought was going to start to add up later in the fight. But as you can see, it went from 17 to 10 to 5, and we'll talk about that as we go through because I think that's what really failed him. So I had Haqparast up 10-9, but it was a close round. Second round here, Quinones landing another low kick, and that leg has just taken a ton of damage, and he actually switches stances. Haqparast is throwing harder shots and uppercuts and big looping lefts. I thought he was going to be stationary and almost done. Haqparast landed some decent uppercuts and left hands, but he's standing conventional because of that leg damage. Big left hand from Nasrat lands, and Quinones is hurt. And then there's another one. Unreal that Haqparast has picked up his output after his leg got hurt, even putting out even more damage than he did in the first round and landing even more, 20-18. You look at that. First round, he threw 98 strikes. In the second round, he threw 135, and then 144 in the last round. He's actually picking up his offense as he went on and increasing his connections, right? As relatively consistent with his percentage, 43, 43, and 47. He's just throwing so much out there. Haqparast in his face with the pressure, landing hard shots again, landing a huge left. Quinones shelling up, not able to fire back. Haqparast was just landing it well. Great finish for Haqparast. He's just did way more. 69 to 50 in this round. He's just unreal the amount of output he had, especially after getting his leg busted up and not being able to move properly and having to switch stances. I thought for sure that would slow him down. It didn't. And like I said, if Quinones had stuck to that and beat up that other leg, like once he switched stances, it's like he never kicked his leg again. Why wouldn't you just start beating up the other leg? And then now he can't move at all. He damaged it so much he made him. I was really hoping we get to see, or I was really hoping for him to land some of those so we get to see the better Quinones. I thought he made a good account for himself, especially on short notice, and maybe that's what happened. He just gassed and his body wasn't responding. So good on him. I'm glad he looked good. Blood Diamond versus Charles Radtke. This fight was sloppy. Sloppy fight. Hard body kick from Diamond. Nice counter right hand from Diamond. Staggers Radtke for a moment. Diamond chases him down and gets caught as he moves in. So Radtke landed a couple. He gets a back body lock against the fence. Diamond swinging hard off the fence. Radtke not able to get the takedown. Nice left hand landing from Radtke, and he gets a double leg, and they get right back up. The damage could be close to even, but it might be slightly in favor of Diamond if you're just talking about pure damage. But look at the striking numbers here, 4-4, right? And then all that control time, 3 minutes and 55 seconds of control time, doing damage in there with those short strikes. You look at the total striking numbers, 18-9 in favor of Radtke. So I understand that total strikes don't mean a lot because they're usually smaller and they don't have a lot of damage behind them, but they do add up, and he was out in front enough. So I gave him that first round. Second round, nice right hand from Radtke and a low blow from Diamond. Keep that in mind. Hard right hand from Radtke rocks Diamond, and another one wobbles him. Diamond goes for a panic takedown. Herb separates them, even though they were moving. And I don't get that was a bad separation. Another hard left hand from Radtke. Radtke did everything in this round. 20-13 for striking numbers. Tons of control time. 2 minutes and 43 seconds against the cage. Just doing great work. So I had him up 20-18. Last round here, Radtke looked a little bit tired, and Diamond started to really unload, landing a nice head kick, moves in with an elbow and a knee. Knee to the body, but he ends up in the clinch again, just out of control. Not staying. He's just pressuring too much far forward and overextending on his strikes. Diamond lands another low blow, but there's no stoppage for it. Diamond kicks him in the nuts yet again. Holy shit, this is bad. It's like he's doing it on purpose. I know he's not, but that's what it seems like. Finally, they take a point from him. Diamond grabs the fence, so again, lack of control of his weapons and where he is in space. Diamond's trying to do damage to end the fight in the open, but keeps ending up in the clinch. Diamond lands another low blow with 10 seconds left. Boy, and then Radtke, like they're all booing him because he was doing a lot of grappling. He ends up winning 29-27 because of that point deduction. Mark Collette gave Christopher Allende gave the last round to Radtke. What the fuck? No, he says, fuck all you faggots in the crowd. That's what he said. But that's it, and he pulls the mic from him. But what the heck is this? What is this scorecard? Christopher Allende? What is this scorecard? First round of Diamond, second round of Radtke. I'll buy it. I'll buy it. You say the damage went to Diamond in that first round. You don't want to count the grappling and you don't think Radtke did any damage. You can make that argument. I don't agree with it, but you can make that argument. Last round, how are you going to argue that Charles won that last round? In any way. Got outstruck, almost not rocked, but definitely out damaged. Not even close. He did not land any clean shots in that round. And you're going to give him that round. Again, it's going to fly under the radar. No one's going to care. No one's going to care. Bad scorecard. Gabriel Miranda versus Shane Young. All right, Shane Jung missed weight by 4 pounds. That's ridiculous. Not cool. Miranda gets to the back and puts a body triangle in, and then Jung goes to sleep. That's it. Jung went to sleep. Now he can dream about all the cake he's going to eat. Oh, I'm just kidding. He already ate it before the fight. I'm being mean. That's mean and stupid and crass. So dumb. All right, Kiefer Crosbie versus Kevin, I think Jousset. Jousset is how you pronounce it. He is the French. How you say French. Nice job from Crosbie with the low kick. Okay, yeah, I do remember this fight. So, nice kick. Sorry, it was the very first fight on the card. Nice kick from Crosbie with the low kick, then left hook to the body. Beautiful strikes early from him. Nice jab from Jousset as he presses forward and using those low kicks. Crosbie looks like his movements are compromised a bit, and Jousset is starting to find his range. Right, he's the taller fighter. He's starting to land on the nose, just pop, 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 pop with that jab and the straight, just right on the nose of Crosbie every time. And then Jousset countered the takedown, instantly gets the back and gets a rear naked choke finish with 10 seconds left. Jeez. All right. That is enough rambling. Good grief. Appreciate y'all for stopping by. Like I said at the top, if you do like this stuff, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. That way you know when the next video is coming out. 2 or 3 videos every single week breaking down fights. And then, like I also said in the last video, there's the main card and the main event. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check that out. I appreciate y'all. It means a lot to me. If you guys like this video, hit the like button. Love y'all. Have an amazing week.